Okay, let's take a look. All right. So, yeah, I'm just a couple things. One is I'm wondering why all the blue, and especially frames like this where you have the solid blue in between stuff. I would cut all of that out, and I think I would lose this kind of blue background here. I also personally don't think that the title cards are necessary because, anybody watching this sort of doesn't need you to tell them that those are storyboards. That's self-evident. I would also say, I mean, just the fact that these are at a little bit of an angle, to each other and the pages are kind of overlapping, it just looks a little bit messy. Um, and uh, and all the flashing to blue between frames, it's very distracting. The other thing I would say is these are kind of small. I mean, what I'd rather see is at least one page is full screen and then give us enough time to really look at the storyboard of that page. Another thing you could do is do it like an animatic where each drawing is full screen for the length of time that you imagine, that drawing would be in the story. So it's basically turning your storyboard into an animatic. But the way you've done this here, where the page, relative to the size of the screen, the page is small, doesn't really present your work very well. Um, I think the quality of your work needs to improve fundamentally also. But I mean, yeah, I personally don't think any of these title states are necessary. Like heads and hands, it's like, that's obvious what we're looking at. And it's actually kind of weird because you say heads and hands, and I see hands, and then there's this flashing, and then there's no heads. So it would be weird. It's weird that you call it heads and hands. I just don't think you need. It's obvious they're all drawings, and anybody watching that, it's obvious to them. And all this blue and kind of flickering stuff is just distracting and unnecessary. So I'd cut all of that out, where you keep cutting to the solid blue screen. Um, and then yeah, and then again, I don't think you need to say that that sketches. It's obvious what it is by looking at it. But the title cards themselves are just sort of like messy. I mean, I know like you like the idea that it's hand done, but I just don't think it's helping you because it's not. It doesn't look kind of carefully and beautifully hand done. It looks sort of messy and not carefully done. So and not with a lot of intention and style. So yeah, I mean, I think this could be presented better. Lose the blue, lose the full screen blue stuff and all the kind of flashing back and forth. Lose the title cards, show the work, fill up the screen with the work better, especially when you do the storyboards.